What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Brian Crank, back again with another video. And today we're going to be talking about kid ends up almost dying. Alright? So, sorry about that. So, this kid, well, he's like older now, but like this kid from years ago, he ends up having to spend time with his cousins and stuff like that. So, him and his mom go to his cousin's house, and I think it was like a trip or something, and they like was at the beach or something like that. Yeah, like at the beach. So they end up arriving there. Everything's all great and stuff like that. But like the kid's cousins, like older than him, and he doesn't really mess with them or anything like that. He doesn't like really like them, and for some reason they have beef. Don't know why, but they have beef. He doesn't even know why, but they have beef for some reason. So his mom ends up making him have to go with his cousins so he could spend time with his cousins while her and the his cousin's mom, which is his aunt, have to they drinking, they drinking wine, just sitting there at the beach. But basically, yeah, they're drinking wine while she makes him have to wear sunscreen. It's the beach. You don't really want to get like a tan or anything like that, sunburn. So she makes him wear sunscreen, and he end up he ends up going with his cousins, right? So when he ends up meeting up with his cousins, they end up like talking about him a little bit, just trash talking, just like commenting him on how he looks and stuff like that, but not in a good way. It just basically just messing with him. So he just taking it all in, just trying to ignore him and stuff like that. He asked them what are they doing, and they said, well, we're gonna use this paddle boat, and just use the paddle boat and just boat around like the water, not the water, but like around the beach and stuff like that. So he agrees. So they end up paddle boating. If I don't know what a paddle boat is, it's like a boat that requires two people to use like a wooden paddle. It's like a wooden shovel, but it's not a shovel. But you use it to like move around water basically. Right. So they end up using paddle boat. Two cousins use the paddle boat, and as they're in the water using the paddle boat, they spot an island, a little island in the distance, and they end up deciding to go over there. And when they reach there, they end up looking off into the distance again, and at the little island, and they end up seeing a mine shaft, and so the kid, basically the main person of the story, doesn't know what a mine shaft is at the time. He never seen one before, so they end up bringing him and showing him what the mine shaft looks like. So when he sees what the mine shaft looks like, they end up tossing a rock down there to see how far the rock's gonna go and stuff like that. But yeah, they end up tossing rock down there, and it bounces. They hear the bounce off like the inside the mine shaft a couple times, like 3 times, and then after the third time, they don't hear it for a while until it actually falls down. So at that point, they knew that the mine shaft was pretty steep and it was pretty deep. Kind of rhymed though, but so yeah, they knew it was deep. So then, this is the interesting part of the story. So then, the two cousins, asked the kid, does he have his Nintendo DS on him? Now, pretty sure y'all gonna be asking yourselves like, what do you mean Nintendo DS? Well, that's like this is a long time. It's like a long time, not a long time ago. It's like what, like 8 years ago, something like that. Maybe 10 years ago, something like that. Yeah, 10 years ago. So They end up asking the kid, does he have his Nintendo DS on him? He says, yeah, of course, because it's kind of boring on the ride and stuff like this. So obviously he has his Nintendo DS. And they was like, okay, well, give it to us then. And it was like, he had said no because like he didn't really want them messing with it because his two cousins are known for being bad and for like breaking things, like breaking valuable things and stuff like that. So he was like, no, I'm not gonna let you use it or let you have it or anything like that. And then they end up looking at the kid like smiling like evilly, like very evil at him and stuff like that. Like they was really just smiling at him evil and like they knew that he was going to say no. So then when he said no, he ends up telling the kid. He said they say either you give us your Nintendo DS. I mean, not give us, but let us play on your Nintendo DS, or we're going to push you down the mine shaft, which is basically means that either you give them the DS, or you basically die or break bones and still alive, but you like break a bunch of bones. So he obviously says no because yes because he doesn't want to die. So yeah, he ends up giving them the Nintendo DS so they can play with it because he did that was the only other option besides dying. And then he was like, you know what? The kid was like, you know what? Let's just go back to the beach, right? And the two cousins say no, because they said they still wanted to explore the little island. And he was like, and then after that, he ended up having to basically stay there the whole entire time while they was exploring the little island and building forts and probably looking at seashells and crabs and stuff like that, and all the little creatures on a little island or something like that. They'll end up having to wait like 30 minutes to an hour before until they finished. And as soon as they got finished with exploring the island, basically, they end up making the kid who's younger than both of them, end up making the kid have to paddle them all the way back to the beach because they were tired of exploring the little island basically. Now, if y'all remember what I said earlier in the video, a paddle boat requires two people, not one. Plus, the kid doesn't really know how to use a paddle boat. He doesn't really have experience with water or anything like that, so he doesn't really know. But then, so it takes him about like an hour, just takes them about an hour just to get back to the beach. When he gets back to the beach, the kid's mother realizes that her child, the little kid, isn't in a good mood and some bad happened, right? So she ends up pulling him aside and asking him what's wrong, and he ends up telling her, but not like a bad way to the point where like they're not gonna hang out anymore though. But he ends up telling her that his cousins ended up taking his DS away from his Nintendo DS away from him, and then like she was like, now he only said that so like his cousins really wouldn't get mad at him too much because he didn't want to he didn't want to tell her that they basically forced him into giving them the Nintendo DS because or he was going to like take it like they gonna push him down the mine shaft. So he didn't want to tell her that stuff like that. He didn't want to tell her, so he just told her the easy way basically, and she understood, and so she ends up getting, going to them and asking them to give back her son's Nintendo DS because she knows that they're bad and they might break it. So yeah, so that's basically the gist of that story. You know what I'm saying? That's basically just a story. It is late if y'all saw my eyes closed a lot. It is late. Like, it's really late though. But that's gonna be the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Get us to 7 subscribers, and I'm out. Peace.